Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to be talking about Basketball Wives Season 9, Episode 1. The ladies are back. Okay, you guys, so let's talk about Basketball Wives, you guys. I'm going to tell y'all that first of all, last season was really disgusting to me the way that they treated OG, and so I was really not here for the show. I am going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a few episodes and see if I like it. I do not guarantee that I will review the entire season because if it gets as aggravating as it did last season, I might not be coming back. Um, so let's just go ahead and start from the beginning. We open up with a few hodgepodge scenes, seeing what everybody's doing. And then we get Phoebe coming over to meet Evelyn at the house. They're going to cook some avocado toast, have breakfast. Apparently, Phoebe can't cook. Side note, I don't really care for Phoebe as a character on the show. I'm really going to try to give her a chance this season, but last season she was a no for me. And so far this season, I'm extremely indifferent about her. And I hate the color of her wig. Like the actual, not the color, but the placement of the color. It looks real. I hope you didn't get like a professional to do it because it looks really, really patchy and it does not look good. Phoebe, send me the wig. I'll change it and I'll make it look better for you because that looks a mess. But anyway, and so Phoebe comes over to Evelyn's house, and so the things that they discuss there, of course, is um, Evelyn, getting her life back together. She's gotten baptized. She's on a whole new path. She's focused on her family, and she wants to move into a gated community because she feels so unsafe. Tear, tear, tear. I had no idea that that emoji would have been taken that way. Like it's like one of the top four emojis when you search laughing. And I wasn't trying to be racist, and I don't understand why people think this. And now I'm getting threatened and all this stuff. Now I'm gonna say, people talking about threatening her and her family, y'all are doing entirely too much. That is the most. But Evelyn, miss me with your fake tears, baby. Miss me. You knew exactly what you were doing. You're not going to sit up here and tell me that in 2020 you don't understand the correlation between monkeys and gorillas and apes when you're talking about a black person. Especially not if you're Afro Latina, right? If you were truly Afro Latina, then you would understand that that is an absolute no no. Don't sit up here and try to, like Lovely T says, cry these tattooed tears and think that that's getting, like, don't play on my intelligence. Don't play in my face. And again, this is what she's doing. She's trying to invoke this sympathy as if she did not have any idea about how that tweet was perceived or how that post was received. And now she's going to sue for defamation because OG is out here calling her racist and colorist and all this stuff. And these tears that never fell out her eye. I would just rather you stand 10 tones down in what you were really trying to do. You were really trying to push buttons. Don't sit up here and act like you don't know. And I have no respect for you. Moving on to Phoebe, she started back dating. I think she called her man DJ, who is a retired football player or something. They dated at 1.9 years ago, but he had a whole nother girlfriend that she knew nothing about. But he's come back around and said that he's ready to settle down. He hasn't met anyone like her. He wants to get married. They want to start dating again. And she has some apprehension about it because of the past. And Evelyn is like, girl, that's just showing some of your insecurities. You need to get back with him. Okay. The next scene we get is with Shawnee basically at the tattoo shop with one of her sons who's getting a Kobe tattoo. And I honestly, I did not think about how that affected like Shawnee and her kids. And I'm sure that was extra hard on them. Again, one of the sons is getting a tattoo to represent Kobe and Gigi, the daughter. And she talks about how, she saw Kobe like grow into a man. So I'm sure that was very much hard for them because they were, I'm sure, a family. We also find out that her sons have committed to going to LSU in Louisiana, and so she's deciding to move to Houston so that she can be closer to her babies. It's only a 45-minute plane ride, so that was cute. Then we see Jackie and OG meeting up, and I do not want to see them gaslighting OG throughout this season and playing her like she's crazy. Jackie is basically like, "Oh, you're getting sued for defamation." I didn't think that what she said was racist or colorist. I've never been around Evelyn and thought of her to be racist or colorist, but Jackie's own daughter has admitted that she's colorist, so maybe you wouldn't see it. But at the end of the day, just like OG said, we all know the connotations behind uh, gorillas and chimps and apes and all these animal references and things like that. So she does not refer to Evelyn as Evelyn. She refers to her as the plaintiff, and she's being really petty. And OG is really petty, but in this instance, I'm behind her in it. Like, I'm behind her in this instance. I don't necessarily just like OG. I haven't. What I'm saying, but as far as this instant goes, she's right in my opinion. But Jackie says that she wants to get OG and Shawnee together to kind of see if they could be on the same page. And OG says, she doesn't have an issue necessarily with Shawnee. Her issue was really with Evelyn. Then we get a cooking class with, let's see, with, what's the helper name? Evelyn, Phoebe, and Malaysia. And again, this whole scene is to talk about how Phoebe is dating this guy and she has these insecurities. And Malaysia and Evelyn are basically encouraging her to get back with him. Later on, we see them go on a date to like a batting cage, and they discuss their previous relationship. And This is why it sounds all good. Oh, forgive him. He's coming around. He's someone new. When he was talking, I heard Martell because it's like, oh yeah, I did have a whole nother girlfriend, but you was doing what you was doing too. And Phoebe was like, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't messing with my ex. Like I didn't know anything like that. And so if you felt like justified in your cheating because you felt like she was cheating, then you have not changed to me. That means that you can feel justified next year or the year after that or the year after that and think that it's okay. I don't trust them. I think Phoebe is right to be very cautious about it. Don't listen to these heifers who have failed relationships. They had you don't again. I don't understand why we as women continue to get advice from people who can't sustain a successful relationship. What are you supposed to tell me? Sorry, no shade. Just saying. Then we get a scene with Shawnee and Jackie meeting up. And this is Shawnee's time to basically let Jackie know that she is moving to Houston, and she feels like if she tells Jackie, who will be like the most like stubborn and hardest one to break things to, then maybe it'll be easier. And Jackie took it well. But Jackie says, "Oh, I'm gonna have to throw you a party. We're gonna have to have all the things: lions, tigers, bears, sex. Everybody's coming. I can't wait." Jackie's funny to me. Is she cuckoo bananas? She is, but she's funny to me, and she wants to make sure that she throws a party for Shawnee. Great. And while she's talking about that, she says to Shawnee that she thinks that it's important for her and OG to get together beforehand and kind of like bury the hatchet. And although Shawnee's mouth says, well, if she feels like she experienced colorism, who am I to tell her that she didn't? And I'm open to talking to her. Her face said, I don't want to talk to this bitch. I don't care. That ain't my friend. F her. That's what her face said to me. Y'all drop down in the comments and tell me what y'all thought about it. But whatever. Shawnee's a mean girl just like Evelyn. And I look at them completely different. Which I've always looked at Shawnee as a mean girl since Miami, but even more so now. Now we meet the new housewife. I think her name was Liza. I think she is Lamar Odom's ex-wife. And so there's a scene where it's her, Shawnee, and Evelyn, and they go out to do some shopping or something. She's looking for a house, and they're like, "Oh, we have to invite you around the girls. You know how the obligatory. Oh, so nice to meet you. This is the download on the girls. You're gonna meet them, of course." Evelyn is really open and nice to her coming in. Yay. Maybe Evelyn has changed. Then we get this cringe-worthy scene with OG and her dude going mattress shopping and laying all over each other in the store and talking about making babies, even though, you know, okay, sure. Just all right. You and Kwame, y'all gonna make babies. She says they are still engaged, but they are building their dream home. So she's sure that they will be getting married. I mean, I'm sorry, they're not engaged. They're just boyfriend and girlfriend. They're not even engaged. But they're building their dream home, so she's sure they'll be getting engaged soon. Keep hope alive. But during this little conversation, basically, OG just says that she wants to talk to Shawnee. She wants Shawnee to kind of get where she's coming from, and she hopes that it'll be okay. Yeah. Shawnee don't like you. Shawnee don't see it for you. She ain't never gonna see it for you. Ain't no point in you talking to her. It'll be a waste of breath, time, and energy. Um, then we get a scene where Evelyn, I think her name is Liza. If her name isn't Liza, I charge it to my heart, charge it to my head, not my heart. And Malaysia, and they're going to kind of serve the community. They are giving back at a laundromat, like paying for people's laundry. Because Evelyn is on this spiritual journey. Seems good. But basically, because Evelyn is on this spiritual journey, she wants to get the girls to reconnect, and she wants Malaysia to forgive Jackie. And Malaysia says, "You know what? I will always have love for Jackie. We used to be really close, but I'm just not seeing it for her." So Malaysia and Jackie have done this back and forth thing since the first season of Basketball Wives LA. It has always been this back and forth thing. Why Malaysia has this love for Jackie, I don't know. What has Jackie done? Maybe behind the scenes that we haven't seen. But in my opinion, Jackie has never been a consistent or loyal friend to Malaysia. She's always shown her crazy and always has talked junk about Malaysia behind her back. So if I were Malaysia, I'd just cut my losses and be cordial and keep it moving. But we see later on in the episode that Malaysia can't even be cordial, honey. When they were at this little scene and Jackie shows up, Malaysia swiftly exits stage left. She's not seeing it for Jackie. She does not like her energy. And eventually I'm sure they will get back on the same page. But as of right now, honey, it ain't gonna happen. The episode ends with Jackie being in the car, and she gets the news that her caterer is canceling because of the Rona, and she says this is like the third vendor that's canceled for the party. Then so she's talking to OG and telling her how she's really getting worried, things are really getting serious. And then Shawnee calls and says, "Oh, well, they're starting to do lockdown, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to Houston, and we're just going to have to try to do this at another time." And so then we get the compilation of all the girls really being worried about the Rona and how it's really getting real. It is definitely interesting. I think it's interesting to see how they are approaching it at the end of this. Now, I don't want the whole season to be about this, but I do think it's interesting to see just how they are approaching this. Like the cinematography of it, I'll say, is interesting enough. I it seems like we've been in this for so long that it's almost like this has been years ago, and this has not even been a full year ago, and how uninformed and misinformed we've been about so many things, and how there was so much confusion for so long. So us actually going back and seeing it in the timeline that they're dropping it is very kind of interesting for me to see, especially because they are in LA, which LA's been one of like the hot spots for the virus ever since it's come. And so just to see like they were still able to in March, they were still going out and stuff like that versus once the shutdown actually happened. But that's it. That's all I got to say about the first episode of the Basketball Wives. I just want people to take accountability, and I don't think that we get that enough. Evelyn, take accountability in what you have done. I don't know what's happened with the lawsuit. I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know if it's paused because of the Rona or if it got thrown out. Honestly, I don't think that Evelyn has a leg to stand on in that way. Um, Evelyn is expressing how she has felt attacked by I'm not Evelyn. OG is expressing how she felt attacked on social media by Evelyn. That's not defaming her. That's speaking your experience, and it's my experience that you treated me with colorism and racism, and I'm not okay with that. So I'm going to blast you. I don't think that that's wrong, and you can't blame OG for what some crazed fan says to you in your DM. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think that she has a lawsuit. Do I think that not Evelyn, do I think that Jackie and Malaysia are going to get back together? I give them to episode 4. Yeah. Episode 4 at the latest. Then they'll be back. Ace, boom, coon. Like ain't nothing happened. You know how they do. That's it. I hope I don't get aggravated, y'all. But if I have to come on this screen and fuss out Evelyn or Phoebe or Shawnee or Jackie for gaslighting or anything like that, I'm here to do it. All right, y'all. Tell me what y'all thought about the season premiere of Basketball Wives. Drop your thoughts down in the comments. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.